didn't know too much about the industry before I started, and it's as simple as filming videos and putting it online. I guess that's how I started.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
But you had a job in recruitment, didn't you?
Yes, yeah.
So well paid?
Yeah, average, sort of average pay, average annual leave, the whole thing to summarise it, average.
Okay, fair enough. So we've been talking, as we've mentioned in the show today, your salary, what you earn at the moment is upwards, you've let me know, of £600,000 a month.
Yes.
I would change careers for that kind of money, but I'm not sure I'd do what you do. Why have you decided that this is the route you're going to go down? Is it just about the money?
So it started off as just the money.
This is one of those situations that I hope and I actually pray that this is fake news. We got a new lady and she has engaged with sleeping with over 1,000 men, beating the world record, which I don't really care about. Bonnie Blue. Friends with Lily Phillips, who just did 100 men in the span of 24 hours. Bonnie Blue decides to do over 1,000 men in 12 hours. Whether this was done for the sake of virality, to break records, for fame, ultimately money, it really doesn't matter. What is being shown to us are the results of people's actions and the lessons that have been taught to people in our world today. Hit that subscribe button while you're at it. It is important to know that the friends that you keep tend to influence your thoughts or your actions. More likely your thoughts, because you tend to do the same things but on different levels. I'm not surprised that she's friends with Lily Phillips that just did 100 men. Ideally, I would like to ignore all of this. But unfortunately, when it comes to sexuality, it is one of the strongest things or the strongest aspects of a human being. Because human beings inherently desire to be connected. And being sexual with somebody is the deepest or most powerful way that you can be bonded with a human being. And people find it weird when you can take such a deep aspect of your life. You will not share your finances. You will not share your house. You do not even share your family. You do not share blood with anybody. But you will take something that is so sacred to you and share it with a bunch of strangers that you don't even know. And vice versa for the men too, because the only reason why she was able to do this is because there was 1,000 men, over 1,000 men that was willing to share something because they don't see value in it. This means a lot. It means that there are people in this world that lack a high sense of self-confidence. People think that they're confident. People act like they're confident, but they're not really confident. Because if you're confident in who you are and you know the value in which you possess, there's a way you would treat it. People may scream that they're making money, but how you make money tells you how you view yourself. And we see how lack of confidence in both men and women affect their genders. Women, due to lack of confidence, put themselves in situations that they do not even need to be in. Men, because of lack of confidence, don't even put themselves in situations because they believe that it will be of no proper results or there will be no benefits to it. And when it comes to self-confidence, it comes down to how you choose to share your body as well. If you value yourself, you will not give yourself to people that don't value you.
And I was just going to say, that picture we showed,
Yes.
Who's in that picture? Is that your mum?
No, that's me.
That's you. So I can't see from wherever. But it was your mum that helped make the sign. So
yes.
you've created, there we are, there's your mum. You've created a family business.
Yes.
And you're kind of, I suppose, do you look after your family? Do you take them on nice holidays?
100%, yeah, like, it's changed my life and it's changed my family's life for the better. And I want to, if I'm having a good day, I want them to have a good day.
And this is a deeper conversation because not everybody is in the situation that they're in because of solely themselves. Some people come from different family backgrounds. Some people were not taught how to be confident.
It seems like she craves attention, no matter the form, which makes you wonder, can we really say that's coming from a place of genuine self-worth? As Welch points out, nearly 90% of sex workers have experienced sexual abuse in childhood. It's often trauma that drives them to do it.
These women are told their entire life the only value that they have is what somebody else will pay for their body.
She argues that it's a myth that prostitutes enjoy it and warns not to be fooled by their happy appearances.
Some people have to realize this on their own. Some people have to go through terrible situations to realize the person that they need to be. Other people are lucky to come from a very strong fundamental environment that taught them, but not just taught them, but taught them in the right way. Now, when it comes to the sexual revolution of sexploitation, You get what I did there? There are many things that come with it, and an obvious one is STIs. But that's not even the most obvious thing. There's emotional trauma, there's substance abuse. And when it comes to all these things that you attract to yourself, unfortunately, you attract people that want to do you harm.
She described the uncomfortable moments of rushing clients, even when they weren't finished. Most weren't. And the pressure she felt to give them a good experience, especially after they traveled so far to come see her. It was enough to make her emotional, just talking about it.
What, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Kind of guilt tripping me a little bit.
She didn't want to let them down, as she put it. But watching her in the aftermath, it almost seemed like she was beginning to realize the potential dangers of subjecting herself to such an extreme power imbalance.
When you open yourself to anybody and to anything, you're most of the time not going to attract good people because good people do not want to harm you. Broken people harm broken people. This is what happens when you put yourself in sexual situations like this. You're exposing yourself to people that just want to do harm to you, whether it's physically, emotionally, verbally, in any way possible, because it makes them feel better about themselves. And that just shows that there's something about them that's missing. And I know everybody's focusing on this woman, but we also have to remember that the men lose something here too. The men don't have respect for themselves. And unfortunately, the value that they should be putting into loved ones, the value that they should be putting into making the people around them better, they are putting it into somebody that will only make their life worse, because now they have spent their energy into something that will not yield them any better results. Doing this mainly for the sake of ego, pleasure, validation, and everything has a price, whether it's money or something. You may get the ego boost, but you will lose something, whether it's your dignity, whether it's your self-worth. Now, whether or not people are surprised that we have come so low to engage in activities like this, we have always been like this. There have been temples that have been dedicated to all these sexual activities. It's because of social media that everybody is choosing to react this way. But everybody has always had this tendency. These things exist in every single person. It's just that we have been conditioned and we've come from different environments that have taught us and really explained to us through evidence that shows that this type of actions never yield the results that you want.
Key areas like the amygdala, the brain's fire alarm for danger, and the hypothalamus, which regulates sex and hunger, are involved. These primal brain regions serve evolutionary survival functions like mate selection, which often includes competition for dominance. While humans are obviously more complex than mice, studies show that these brain areas function similarly in both species, with neurons controlling arousal and aggression located dangerously close. So we walk a fine line between what Anderson describes as a moment of coital bliss between mating partners and the sudden growling and baring of fangs seen in wild animals. As more evolved beings, we usually choose to have sex with people we feel safe with, where there's vulnerability and emotional investment, creating an incentive to protect one another. But for someone like Lily, that's hard to guarantee. As neuroscientist Douglas Fields explains, this brain circuitry can drive men to seek violence or pick fights, just for the dopamine rush that comes with aggression. A 2023 study showed that sexual arousal can impair decision-making, reducing executive function and making it harder to read social cues, like whether a partner is consenting or not. Hormonal influences can further fuel aggression, and in Lily's situation, it's a room full of raging, no pun intended, testosterone. The power dynamic here is often drastically skewed. But unfortunately, violence is quite common in this line of work. A systematic review of global sex work found that 45 to 75% of women reported a history of violence, with 32 to 55% experiencing it in the past year.
Short term, it may be good, but long term, you will not like the situation that you find yourself in. Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, they have also been influenced negatively because nobody just wakes up and wants to do this. They have been taught that doing this is okay. And unfortunately, the people that are teaching them are behind the scenes of many other things that we don't know about. This is where I'm going to cap it off. We have come to a time where we cannot avoid the sexual conversation. It is time that we teach young people, or younger people, we teach everybody that is willing to listen, that there's a way one should approach intimacy, there's a way one should express intimacy, and there's an environment that intimacy should be talked about and should be had. We are not in those days where parents can just avoid talking to their children about these topics and hope that they learn about it themselves, because unfortunately, it takes a village to raise children. And unfortunately, the people in that village don't want to raise children in the best way, because we have a lot of broken people, and broken people want to break things. that are just doing well for themselves. It is time we have a sex conversation, but it's also time we have it in the best way. Because if you do not teach people about these things, just like how they're taught about finances, we teach them things on schools, we teach them how to drive, they will learn by themselves. And unfortunately, majority of the people that learn by themselves do not learn from the best resources. So let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe.